Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we have a lot of juicy crypto news to cover, so stick around, enjoy the show, and let's not waste any more time. Breaking news. Basically what happened over in India is they officially recognized Bitcoin and said, you know what guys, this crypto stuff you're doing here, we're going to tax that with 30%, making it officially a legal thing. And what they said is there's a 30% tax on any income from the transfers of virtual digital assets, and also specifying that there will be no deductions and exemptions allowed. Then again, guys, long story short is that this is a very bullish announcement because, well, as we've seen before, India hasn't always been so excited about Bitcoin or crypto. They've actually ordered a couple of bans throughout the last couple of months and years, and so this was a very surprising, very bullish announcement. But Imran, who I believe is from India, he said, not really. In a country where people were fearful of impending bans and being unclear about frameworks and regulations, this is a welcome move. Now, more people can lay their trust in crypto investments as an asset class and take it seriously. So, not exactly sure how he thought that this was that I saw it as a bad thing or so, but it's a very bullish thing, guys. I can't really see any way, shape, or form in which this is negative, except for the fact that people now have to pay tax. But since it was kind of banned-ish before, I can only see it as a good thing. Then again, right now I'm kind of calling my own things out here that I've shared over on Twitter. If you're not following me there just quite yet, guys, we're almost at 50k followers, so make sure you go ahead and check it out and follow me over on Twitter. A break-in. El Salvador angrily rejects the IMF call to drop Bitcoin use. Again, this was already a little bit earlier when I shared it for the first time. And what basically happened is the IMF called out El Salvador, which is one of the only countries to have Bitcoin as official legal tender, and said, hey, drop it. And they, of course, said, no, as we kind of already expected. But yeah, just quickly had to mention that too. Then over on the Ripple side of things, Modulr and Ripple have just announced a strategic partnership to enable seamless payments into UK and Europe. Now, this is quite a big deal, as Sandy Young has also shared it around, because this is one of Ripple's first steps to solidify themselves over in the UK and I guess Europe as a whole, right? So today, leading payments platform Modulr announced a partnership with Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions, to enable seamless payments into UK and Europe. Trust Payments, the global unified payment group, is the first customer to go live and beginning the beneficial whatever from this specific partnership. So yeah, since its inception, Modulr has focused on building a seamless payment as a service option into UK and Europe inside their payment rails, and with access to critical payment infrastructures in the UK, including faster payments and Bucks, Chups, Swift, and SEPA in Europe. Its access and deep expertise of the European payments landscape made Modulr an ideal partner for Ripple, and moreover, Modulr is one of the few non-banks, potentially actually the only non-bank that I know of at least, to be directly connected to the Bank of England, allowing the payment platforms to settle funds at the central bank. And again, guys, this is a massive, massive, massive announcement. We can read further into exactly what these guys think about it, but I think you guys can already fetch what this means, right? So again, Ripple is setting in more and more connections, and you might ask yourself, how much XRP will be used? How does that all go? Well, as of this point, not that much. But that's, again, Brad Garlinghouse's broader strategy, which I've described before. Get a person, get an entity to sign the contract, and then offer them more value as you've already onboarded them and they've gotten your trust. Because XRP is such a foreign thing. Not everybody wants to hop on initially. But once you've signed the contract for a solution, XRP, the ODL part, is part of the RippleNet solution, which these guys, a lot of them will adopt. And so I don't think it's the most difficult step, but it is the next step, basically, you know? Like the first step is setting them on, and you can see here a little bit more story of how Modulr is basically working around the different parts of Europe. You can see here, Nederlandse Bank is there as well. All right, then, apparently banking giant Fidelity favors Bitcoin technology. Well, they let go of a couple of rather interesting statements, and I'm not exactly sure how big Fidelity is anymore. Trillions of dollars worth. These guys are no joke. And apparently, Bitcoin should be considered separately from other digital assets, said Fidelity. Why have they said that? Well, as far as I now know, they basically let go of statements surrounding that because they believe that, as far as I know, right, that Bitcoin and the majority of other cryptos are not on the same sort of scale. And you can kind of fetch that, understand that principle in the sense that Bitcoin is the only crypto in some sense where you don't know who made it, that is so big that basically everybody knows about it, and that is so big that it cannot be shut down in almost any way, shape, or form that we can fathom. Yet there's a foundation, but even that foundation, I mean, you can't really sue them for making Bitcoin bigger because they're not necessarily the biggest benefactors. The biggest benefactor could be, for example, that specific person who we don't even know exists, who might be running the entire scheme, who might not actually be involved anymore. We don't know, which makes it so interesting. Then again, the reason it should be a different asset class is because you can't really point one finger, even 10 fingers, to the people who are behind it. Or you might do so, but then you're left with Satoshi Nakamoto, whom nobody really knows. And if you're going to go for the foundation, well, that's a completely different separate entity, which works not even in the same sense. So it's a difficult one. It's a very difficult one. All right, I actually just got myself a new tweet this second here. James Fillon has shared something about the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. No, he just shared Ripple's general counsel says all roads don't lead to the SEC because the SEC doesn't have a rational regulatory framework. End quote. Crypto industry hopes looming legal brawl will thwart the SEC. That's actually posted by Apple News. I don't think that's Apple themselves, right? No, of course not. It's just on the Apple News section of things, right? We'll check it out in just a second. Let's quickly open that up because, we gotta. Whenever we see something juicy like that, I, of course, want to see exactly what he's all about. Let's quickly check this out, guys. He just tweeted out, just got the notification, so I'm like, hey, let's quickly check it out. Let's check the article out here over on Apple News. No, I believe Apple News is just the aggregator. So if you open it up on your phone, then it shows Apple News. But I'm not sure exactly what okay, it's on the Wall Street Journal. Crypto industry hopes looming legal brawl will thwart SEC regulation. Agency's case against Ripple Labs faces hurdles in the coming months. Okay, it's a pay to see. The booming crypto sector complains that Washington has gone too far in cracking down on its unregulated products are getting tested in a key lawsuit against Ripple Labs about XRP. Lawsuit which the SEC filed in the waning days of the Trump administration faces several hurdles in the coming months. A Manhattan federal judge has been asked to decide, for instance, whether Ripple can argue regulators should have clearly announced which digital assets they oversee, rather than using enforcement actions to bring the industry to heel. And there's, of course, more to that story, but all right. We have a little bit of an idea, and that I think is good enough for right now. Then, we've actually read this out before, but let me quickly reiterate again what this is all about. It's rather interesting. My bill, this is Wendy Rogers. SB 1128 exempts virtual currency from property taxes. So this is the Arizona state senator. And we talked before, right, how in Arizona, they're thinking about basically making crypto legal tender and getting a couple of steps in. And here's the official bill and the official groundworks of it all. Just understand that even though you are in Arizona right now, you might have not heard about it, just know that it might exist, right? But just because something like this has been proposed and brought up doesn't actually mean it's going to pull through. It's just an idea, a proposal, right? And that is exactly what it is. Then again, this brings up a new question, which is, what is a virtual currency exactly? And how do we know? Who determines that? Yada, yada, yada. A lot of difficult questions come with that. So you can see here, Arizona Senator Wendy Rogers proposes a bill to exempt Bitcoin from property taxes. So, yeah, very, very nice. In some way, shape, or form, right? Very, very nice. Then this kind of comes along with the story that I described earlier to you guys. Wasn't India banning crypto this time last year and the year before? Basically, India has been going back and forth on things in the same sense that China has been. And so I would not be too surprised if, even though India right now has confirmed they're going for a CBDC and they've basically legalized Bitcoin in some way, shape, or form, with the tax and whatnot, that they're eventually going to come back on this or expand it in a negative way. Which is why I'm saying right now there's nothing negative about it. It's really just bullish news because they're acknowledging it, which will allow crypto to grow massively. But as we've seen before in major politics, we might see a very nasty twist at one point or another. Again, I'm not counting on it necessarily, but I am warning people to stay cautious about stuff like that. Then, let's quickly take a look at this. There was a little discussion under a couple of the posts that I've actually made, and there's one where David Schwartz is going in rapidly, which I thought was kind of funny, and there's one where Matt is going in. So let's quickly take a little bit of a look at this, right? So there's this. IOHK, Charles Hoskinson, posted a little fun picture of Simpson. I'm like, this GIF, right? they're looking for brains and Homer has no brains, which is, let's say A-tier GIF at the minimum. A very, very nice GIF. I'm rating it an 8 out of 10. Now, he is responding this to Greenwood Holding Company, who shared Justin Sun. This is after okay, let's just go from the start. All right, so Ripple I was saying, Ethereum is a hybrid of Mastercoin and Ripple. This is so amazing to me. He is a genius, I heard, but can't come up with an original idea. So we're going to make another video where we go deeper into this. Is just this one, right? Just Moon said Vitaly got the idea from Ripple while he was an intern. And then David Schwartz came in and said, yeah, he's kind of right about that. And of course, Charles is kind of looking for brains because he's kind of laughing at them for saying this. David Schwartz is saying it's the truth. He says a lot of us felt that payments in the way that they were broken right now. And it's a little fun battle between who exactly is right, what exactly ensued, what exactly brought what. And then it's also Matt who came in with a little bit of a talk about which came first, the chicken or the egg, in some way, shape, or form. How long XRP has been there for, how good it is, basically, who came up with it, and all that stuff. It's been like a little point of discussion the last couple of days here. I'm going to say the last couple of hours, really, because it's been the last, let's say, 24 hours, last day. And it's actually really funny if you look at the history of the XP Ledger and the supposed theories behind it, of how early they came up with this technology. Specifically, if you compare it to Bitcoin, it's such a fun comparison to make, actually, because a lot of people don't know how old XRP and the structure behind it and the idea behind it really is and are. It's really actually quite fascinating. Might be something we need to look into another one of these videos. I might make another video about that later tomorrow or something like that, where we go a little bit deeper into the history of XRP. Could be fun to do as well. This is also, I guess, something that deserves this entire little video. The meaning of we at the SEC. Obviously, guys, whenever we see this, I'm like, we at the SEC, huh? Because what they've done over at the SEC time and time again, guys, is they've described that William Hinman's speech is just a personal opinion. But then again, they've also described it that you and I, basically the investors, should look at that speech to kind of decide things. And they've said that they find it clear how the crypto rules are made and yada, yada, yada. But the we mostly refers to the fact that they refer back to that William Hinman speech and that we have given clarity and whatnot, when in reality, it should just be a personal opinion. And so that doesn't make a lot of sense at all. And we have a couple more things. Let's see, John Dean here. Absolute proof. The SEC never believed it could prove today's XP as a security. If it truly believed in its bogus, absurd allegations, it would have sought a preliminary injunction to stop the ongoing XP sales. I've said this 1,000 times before. And one guy is saying, Ripple uses illegal funds to fund legal defense. How funny and ironic, because at the end of the day, Ripple right now can sell XRP to actually fund their lawsuit. And so that would be kind of funny how you're suing somebody for something and they can literally basically sell that something, which you're suing them over selling that specific something, to fund the lawsuit that you span to them for selling that something. Yeah, it's rather funny. All right, you know what, guys? I think that's actually enough for today's little video here. We've covered quite a significant amount of things, and I have more. I know. Last one, but not least, Morgan Stanley, Bitcoin's drop is nothing new, and the correction is within historical norms, because, again, a correction like this, it means absolutely nothing. You can see Deep Blue Crypto also posted up here. What we've seen right now in a correction really doesn't mean too much. It's not too crazy. It doesn't worry me at all. At all. I think we've covered a lot of juicy crypto news here. Again, the most difficult part, of course, is going to be what to title this video, as we've seen before. But a lot of you guys said, please try to keep... Ooh, we got some Lamborghinis outside. Of course, in the wonderful Dubai, this is what you hear very often, depending on where you are. And I wanted to say, a lot of you guys said, please keep your videos under 15 minutes. I'm trying to do that, but it's difficult because I usually just have so much news I want to cramp into one video. But that's also why I try to kind of keep the additional talks to a minimum in this episode. But again, guys, make sure you press the like button if you enjoyed it, and let me know down below what you think is better. More talks around the subject or more straight to the point and move on like we did just here.